So today's video is going to be about something very special to me and a couple other basically YouTubers and amazing people in the knife community on Instagram. And of course, what I'm talking about is this Artisan mini tradition. Not only is it anodized aftermarket by my good buddy Kwasi at EDC11 on Instagram, but we are doing something very special, and we are doing a pass around group between me, Scott Big Boar Williams, and Carlos EDC. Now we're all going to be doing videos on this knife, and at the end we are going to sell it, and all of the money goes to help Vern _Dogg on Instagram. Now, in his case, he has cancer, and I absolutely hate it. I hate it in every single sense. He is a really, really nice guy in the knife community, and basically his family's living off of his paychecks, and just recently he had to get a new phone, so there's a knife that he's getting sold to help pay for a phone for him, and I just feel bad because I can't physically do anything monetarily, but I hope everyone can help and spread the word, get this knife sold so that he can have a better life with his family. So, first off, this knife is the first titanium handled knife I have ever held, and I absolutely love it. So some stats here is this is a 3-inch blade. The cutting edge is about 2.875 inches. It is on Blade HQ. It's said to be on Blade HQ, it's said to be 0.13 inches, but every time I measured it, I'm getting 0.125 inches. It is a S35 VN blade. Hopefully that did not help. Maybe right there. Yeah. This is an S35 VN. And it is 59 HRC. It was poked twice by Kurt up there. It's kind of hard to get on video, so I'm not even going to try to show it off. But Kurt poked it twice, and it got 59 HRC both times, and really in the ballpark for S35 unit should be between 59 and 61. So I sharpened this myself. To about 16 degrees per side, and I went to about 2K and then went with a 8K lapping film. And she does cut pretty well, but she is thick behind the edge. and the edge that it came with, it was just so bad. It was over 0.3 everywhere. And now it's about 0.26 to 0.28, but it will absolutely cut. It cuts amazingly. I'm not gonna try and get a newspaper over here because I have a fan blowing on me because it's hot in my room right now. A little bit about the handle, other than this amazing anodization job that someone will be getting. It is, when I was measuring it, it was going to about 0.42, a little bit over 0.42. And this thing just, it absolutely fires. I'm holding the mic around me, so hopefully this will help you. Maybe that helped, maybe it didn't. I will see when I look at the video after. But there are 2 notches here. My index finger fits really well in that. My middle finger doesn't always fit in here too well. But I can get 4 fingers on the knife, but they're a little squished. My thumb loves to ride in this little dip that we have right here. And overall, I didn't use this hard, mostly because I didn't want to destroy the anodization. But also, I just loved flipping it over and over and over. This thing is so smooth. And stupidly, I don't think I said the length on the handle. It's coming in at about 4.125 inches. And for a smaller blade, they got pretty much all of the blade in there that they could get. So, what do I like about this knife? I like that it's S35VN, because S35VN has been one of the more, well, it's easy to sharpen. It holds an edge for a pretty great amount of time. I've only had to strop this a couple times, and it just came back to razor sharp. What I also like is the overall drop point of the blade. It just gives you a pretty good amount of flat and some belly, and a pretty good piercing tip right here. But I can get a good 3-finger grip, and the pinky just sits there usually when I am cutting something like a box. But if I'm just like cutting some food, I'm just gonna cut it like this and just do a couple draw cuts. So what I'm not the biggest fan of on this knife is, yes, this pivot looks pretty cool. And you can see the 4 lines on there, but both sides on, there we go, it also has the 4 lines on the other side. And you can easily slip out of this thing with a flat head. So this is obviously a little bit too thick, but I have one that's a little bit thinner at the end, and about half of the, I guess you would say, end. Some people call it the blade, but at the very end I can only use about half on there, and the other is just going to scratch your surface. And if you go with a thinner flathead, you run the risk of it stripping out too much. But I found a happy medium, and I did get this apart, and it was fairly easy to put back together. But these screws are very shallow. I almost stripped out this screw. But overall, I absolutely love the knife. It's personally a little small for me for all of my uses, but I use blades from literally this size to blades that size and upwards to 4 inches. So it's not exactly the worst for me, but I generally prefer a 3.25 inch with a cutting edge. But overall, I didn't have any tasks that this knife would not cut through. And if I did not already, this is a 3.5 inch knife, also made by Artisan, the Eterno. But this side has a Torx bit on it. This is a 3.5 inch cut jack. And one of my favorite EDCs, the Kershaw Link. As you can see, there's not really too much more blade on this than there is on the Artisan. So it's really me nitpicking to find something wrong about this knife, which there is absolutely nothing completely wrong with it. It's just my preferences are a little bit different than everyone else. But I think this is a solid knife to carry for your EDC. So I hope you guys like this. I hope that you guys really want to help out with our little, I guess you could call it raffle or whatever. But here are all the guys that are in this pass around. Here's Carlos, Scott, Vern, and Kwasi. And seriously, if you guys like Kwasi's anodization, seriously, just DM him. Take a picture of your knife and ask if something is completely possible. And he is really a great dude. I can't imagine him really turning someone away. But everyone's life does get busy, so I would always DM him first before you try and send him anything, so that he can tell you exactly what he can do for you. And he has a really good price for his anodization job. So I hope that you guys follow each one of these men on Instagram, because seriously, they're all awesome. They all love to contribute to our knife community. And honestly, Carlos has been one of my friends ever since I started on Instagram and YouTube. Scott, I've been talking to. I love his content on his channel. Same thing with Carlos. And Kwasi, I've been talking to for at least the past 4 months now. And seriously, he has a lot of fun doing what he does in the knife community. I hope that we can all band together and help out Vern and his family, because cancer really is a bitch. It just really is a bitch. So please give this video a like. Please consider subscribing and leave a comment down below on what you thought of my little review of this knife. And go ahead and tell me what you guys think about... Sorry guys, it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Please give me a comment on what you want me to do differently, if you want me to do a different kind of setup. I know that it was a little bit different this time, but I am starting to write things down so that I don't have to remember them every single time. So I hope I see you guys in the next video.